Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another Minnesota Twins game recap. A great win over the Kansas City Royals, 9-0. That is a shutout and a much-needed victory for the Minnesota Twins. That's a great game. Like, if you're a Twins fan, that was so much fun to watch them beat up on a bad team. They didn't even, they just kind of did it the entire game. It wasn't like a specific inning, even though the later innings were a little bit better. The entire game was really good. Pitching, hitting, defense, everything was fantastic. And they got the win for it. So, much deserved. They are only one game behind Cleveland now because Cleveland lost. The White Sox, they were losing. Now they're tied. We'll see how that ends up, but they're still okay. And I can make a whole separate video on if I think the Twins are going to make the playoffs. If you asked me 2 games ago before this Kansas City Royals series, I would have said no, but there's still a lot of time left, and I have hope, and the Twins have a pretty easy schedule, along with the Guardians, but the Twins have a pretty easy schedule. They have a pretty good team. Like, if they could do this every time, they'd be okay. So they won 9-0. They had 16 hits. We're going to go through the people who had hits. Crazy. I mean, everyone was so hot. The Royals only had 5 hits. They didn't get their first hit until the 4th inning. And I think it was Bobby Witt Jr. Man, that guy's a stud. Let me tell you what, Vinny Pasquantino, I love that guy. Me and my friend Zach, who I went to Miami with, if you didn't know that, I got a Jazz Chisholm bobblehead. He sat up here before. We worked in Beloit last year with the Snappers, and Vinny Pasquantino played with the Royals high A affiliate, the River Bandits. So we got to watch him play, and he was really, really good. And we liked him a lot. He's doing really well. But anyway, let's talk about the Twins. I mean, it was a great offensive effort. A rise, 3 for 5. He also had an RBI. He's batting .336 with an OPS of .845. The guy is still incredibly hot. And it's crazy because, I mean, the Twins have not been, like, super, super hot anyway. But, like, during the stretch, probably 2 weeks ago, when they were just bad, they were really, really bad, he was down to, like, 319 or something. So he's gotten it all the way back up to 336. He's got, like, 3 or 4 multiple hit games in a row or, like, over the last week. I mean, that's great. That's what you need from him. Correa also had a 1 for 4 night. Buxton, 2 for 5. He started out kind of slow, but there was a stat he's batting like a 736 OPS or something when he faces a starting pitcher the 3rd time. Crazy, and he got a hit off of him, I believe, in the 6th inning. Greinke, by the way. Greinke was not great, so really, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Miranda, another solid night. He's batting .283, by the way, 3 for 4. He had another RBI as well. They were comparing him to Albert Pujols in the pregame show, and then even once during the game. Let me know what your thoughts are on that if you're a Twins fan. I don't see it. Like, I see what they're saying about his hitting style or whatever. He's not Albert Pujols, though. He is not even close. A lot of rookies tend to have just better luck. And oddly enough, he struggled really badly at the beginning of the season, so he's found something. But the pitchers will learn, and I don't think he'll be this hot until he gets to the next level where he maybe becomes an Albert Pujols, but not yet. I'm not saying he's not a talented player. I don't think he is as good as he is shown, but he was minor league player of the year last year. I probably doubt him too much, but he's done well. He's impressed the heck out of me, so I like him. Kepler 0 for 5 tonight. He had 3 for 3 hits last night, all to the opposite field, but tonight 0 for 5. He has kind of struggled out of anybody. Urshela went 4 for 5, had a season high in hits. Gordon 2 for 4, 2 RBI for him, 2 RBI for Urshela. Kepler did have an RBI though, and then Sandy Leon had an RBI with a sacrifice bunt, a sacrifice squeeze. Went over 3 though, but he's not there to hit. And he's done well when he actually does get hits. So, really good offensive night, even though they only went 6 for 18 with runners in scoring position and left 11 guys on base. The 16 hits kind of overpowers them. And honestly, is that a season high? gosh, I don't know when they hit 16 before, but I know they've also had a couple of 9-run games. So at the beginning of the season, they had several games where they were up into the high single digits or low double digits. It also helps when you're playing the Royals, but they went 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, leaving all guys on base. Talking about pitching, though, Sonny Gray had a dominant performance tonight. I mean, this is the best I think he's looked all season. He's 7-3, which is pretty good. 6 innings pitched tonight, gave up 3 hits, did not allow a run, obviously, with a shutout, and then walked 1 but struck out 10. I mean, the guy was on fire. I don't know how many of those were looking, but it was like 5 or 6 at least. So, really dominant performance by him. His two-seamer was disgusting. His slider was working. I mean, that thing was nasty. His fastball, he could really locate tonight, putting it up in the zone, lower in the zone. Wherever he wanted that pitch, it was going. Thielbar has been solid. I mean, the dude has some moments, and he has struggled in those moments. He kind of falls apart when he does struggle. But, I mean, he gave up a couple of runs at the beginning of the year. His ERA was like 7. And he's had a couple of bad moments, but he's had a ton of good moments. His ERA is 4.04. Still probably a little higher than you'd like, but he pitched 1 inning, struck out 2, didn't allow a hit, didn't allow a run. Great job by him. Fulmer gave up 1 hit, but a pretty clean inning of work there. And Sands, who came in to finish the 9th, gave up 1 hit, but struck out 2. And that last batter, I think it was Michael Massey. He was also in Beloit, by the way, or at least with the River Bandits last year, so we got to see him play. He was pretty good, too. He's batting .313, but struggled tonight. 3 strikeouts. But that was a nasty, nasty, nasty breaking ball. He swung right through, I think, 2 changeups from Sands, and then that thing was disgusting. It was an outside curveball or slider or cutter or whatever they call it for him, and it just came back over the outside quarter. Disgusting, but it was so beautiful. I mean, I almost threw up watching that. It was good, though. Really, really good stuff by everybody involved. And the craziest thing, there was only 1 home run tonight. Did I talk about Celestino? I think I missed him. He went 1 for 4, and he had the home run, just his second home run this season, but they came within within the week, right? 4 games of each other. I think he hit it like last Friday. It took him like 170-something at-bats to hit his first one. But that's crazy. Most of this was done singles, 2-out hits. I mean, Celestino had a 2-out home run. Arise had a 2-out hit, which gave him an RBI. Urshela had 2 RBI on 2 outs. Gordon had 2 RBI on 2 outs. Like, there you go. Like, that's what the Twins did so well at the beginning of the year. That's what they've done well in games where they win. Like this, when they don't score like 4 runs or 5 runs, that's when they really struggle. But like 2-out hitting is so important, and they do it really well sometimes. And then that's when they win. That's when they do really good. So yeah, a struggling night for Greinke, who still went 6 innings but gave up 9 hits. Didn't walk anybody, but yeah, a couple of errors by the Royals didn't help him either. And Greinke, I don't know, he's not as great of a pitcher as one may think. He hangs curveballs. Let me tell you what. Like, I get that it's so slow, but holy cow. Kepler, there was one pitch. I think it was, I don't remember where it was, but it was the first pitch he saw after maybe Miranda had gotten on base, maybe Buxton. I don't remember. And my goodness, the thing was like perfectly placed. It was on a platter, and Kepler swings over it. Now, that's probably Kepler. Maybe a better hitter hits that out or gets a hit off of it, but I tell you what, Greinke was throwing it all over the zone. Like, it was so hittable all night long, and the Twins definitely took advantage of it, but left so much on the table. And I know just that was one example, but yeah, they at least won. They got to him. They shut out the Royals. I'm tired. You could probably hear me yawn throughout this entire video, but yeah, great win by the Twins. That's what they needed. They're 60-55. Really not that great compared to where they were. This was like the 3rd best start of ever franchise history for the Twins through 50 games or something, and then they kind of hit a wall. So let's just see what they can do in the last 47. But yeah, they're in the dog days here, is what Morneau said. So see what they can do. They play Cleveland a lot. They play the White Sox a lot too. definitely a chance to still take the division and hopefully do something in the playoffs. I just want to see a win. That's all. All right. That's all I got for you guys. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.